Hey guys, how's everything going? This is JSer. Today let's take a look at this feature from Twitter. It's pretty common in other social network services, I guess. It's if you look at this Elon's tweet, it's very hot, and there are three numbers here: retweets, quote tweets, and likes. Because the number are updated real time, right? Like this nice animation indicates. So how it is implemented? I think there isn't a way for the server side to tell the client that you need to update the number because we get a new number, something coming in. There are quite a few, not quite, but a few options to achieve this. One is WebSocket, I guess. It's a typical standard way for two-way communications from the client side and the server side. Like here, basically, we could create a socket connection. So when the server side has some changes, it pushes to the client, and we can do the update. Another way is to naively just pull in the latest data. Like every second, you can think of like periodically use a get request and to get the data and update it. It's still workable, but there might be some problems in it. Is that um, um, because if there's no update from the server side, the get request is kind of like it's meaningless, right? You don't need to request that. If there are many updates for the numbers, pulling it may be working as some sort of throttling, but it really depends the data, the characteristic of the changes. For the hot topics like this, it might be good because every time I pull it, I'll get the new data because it's changing. So it might be good, but for less frequent changes, pulling it would just be meaningless. There's another option for doing this kind of data, which is similar to WebSocket, which is slightly different. It's called server-side event. You can search on the MDN. It's had a nice explanation of what it is. So basically, it's not server side; it's server sent event. So basically, it looks like a WebSocket, but it lacks the ability to send from client side to the server side. So it's only server side pushes to the client side. It's kind of like a receiving for the client to receive those events in a stream. So it works like a polling, but we don't necessarily request from the client side periodically. We just wait from the client side, and the server side will decide when to push the event. It's pretty than the polling because now server side has the control of whether we should push the event, right? Even though we can do the throttling on the server side now. Even though the data source changes rapidly, we can throttle it into less frequent changes and push to the client side. You can see that the data here, it is not like changes so quickly, right? Frequently. I guess there are some throttling there. Maybe not. I'm not sure, but it's possible. So if the server side has some okay, pushing it is too fast or something, we can easily control the frequency. So server side event is adopted here. Let's do some debugging. Reload. You can see that this blue one, it's always getting response. It should be it should be the subscription. This event you can see. Let's room out a little bit, something like this. Okay. Yeah, you can see that it just is simply a get request and the event, and this topic is say, okay, let's get the engagement statistics stats for this tweet. Yeah, this one. And you can do response header. It's a bit different. You can see the content type is text event stream. And there is a tab called event stream on the Chrome DevTool, which we can inspect. Inside of it, you can see all these events being pushed. This, I don't know what it is. Okay, you can see that the heartbeats is 2.5 seconds. It will somehow, but there's no event inside. I don't know how the heartbeat works. For WebSocket, we basically needs to create to send the even if even there is nothing, we need to send some event to keep the heartbeat. Otherwise, the connection will be closed. Anyway, you can see that when there's a changes, the server side will push the event here. The type is message, and this is the JSON string, which includes the topic, which is the key, because we might in the timeline in the homepage we might listen to the changes for multiple tweets, and this is the key, and this is the payload. It will contain the data which needs to be updated. So this endpoint, which is live pipeline event, would control all the subscribable data source, and all we need to do is from the client side is to, as explained here, we create like event source. This is the endpoint, and then we can listen to the messages. This message is for default for all the messages. Yeah, here, which is the message from the server that do not have an event on it. But in our case, there is an event type. Wait a minute, type, which is type or we can take a format event. Oh, there's no event field, so everything will be inside of it. Inside this message callback, we can then decode the event data and handling the rest. And if the event is set, we can add an event to separate event, which is basically this is the basic usage, and we can do more fine-grained approach like this. This is determined by the server side event stream format. For each message, we have event. It could be it is optional. If you set it, we can use add event listener. If not, we can use the default message handler. So it basically means that the default event is message, and the data is for the data ID, retry, stuff like that. So for I'll skip the details, but generally, if you want to do something like this, you can use the server sent event. It's better than a polling. If you want to do two-way communication like a chat app, then do it with WebSocket. So basically, there's only two options like this, I guess. Polling might not be good. But maybe it's for some cases it is useful. But for the cases like this, definitely server-side event is the best option. That's it. I hope this video helps. I'm going to make more episodes on those, like how we can implement this episodes. Stay tuned. Bye bye.